You might see less visible hip dips once you are in your journey. It's not going to be a long one at all because, to be honest, there isn't a whole lot to say. If you follow me on my social medias and you already subscribe to me on my YouTube, you will know where this video is going. Where do we begin? I feel like the phrase hip dips wasn't really a thing until maybe the last like 5 years or so. And it's basically just the dips on the side of your legs. They look a bit kind of dimple-ish, but they kind of make your thighs go in a little bit rather than having that round kind of full physique. Most women have hip dips, some women don't have hip dips. Every woman is different, you know, just like every woman looks different as well. Hip dips do not mean there's anything wrong with you, and hip dips are not bad. They are not a bad thing, which is why when you see all these videos, including mine, yes, I used a bit of a clickbait title, but having all these videos called how to get rid of hip dips and all those kind of content is a little bit misleading, but it's also very sad that it's actually a topic of discussion. I have hip dips. A lot of people ask me how to get rid of them, not knowing that I actually have them. I just don't take many front-facing pictures where you can visibly see them. I've been actually taking more now than I ever have before, just to kind of show people, yeah, I have hip dips as well, but I also do have, you know, full glutes, and I am a healthy person, and that none of my workouts are trying to ever get rid of hip dips, and they will not either. So I cannot tell you to get rid of them, and I will not tell you how you can get rid of them, because there's nothing wrong with them. They're beautiful, but inevitably, you know, there's a lot of things that go through the media. People get them filled up, people go through surgery, people get Brazilian butt lifts, all this and that. So, you know, women are always looking for ways to get rid of those hip dips, even if people are constantly telling them you can't. Now, you might not be able to fully get rid of your hip dips because it is our anatomy, it is our skeletal muscle, it's our skeleton. It just depends on the pelvic of the person and how kind of far or narrow the gap in your pelvis is. Now, some people have a closer together kind of pelvis, so there isn't really any gap there, so they might have very minimal hip dips, or they might have none at all. Now, some people might have a more kind of wider pelvic or pelvis, and that means that maybe there's, you know, a slight hip dip there where, you know, you've got the bones in between and then you've got the gap in between the bones, so it's going to create that little dip. Very, very normal. A lot of people have it. Now, you can obviously minimize the look of them by building muscle and putting on weight. Obviously, if you are putting on weight, whether that's healthy weight or unhealthy weight, you might minimize the way that looks because you're kind of building fat around that area. If you're putting on healthy weight, so you're also putting on nice lean muscle as well, again, you're probably building muscle around your glutes, around the sides, all of that, so that might also minimize the look. My hip dips probably look less kind of obvious, let's say, than they maybe did before I started training, just because I've built a little bit of muscle around my glutes and thighs. Most of the exercises you also see, like abductor exercises and abduction exercises, you might think they target the hip dips and the side of your kind of legs and glutes, because when you're doing those exercises, those are the movements you're doing, but actually they do target a lot of the upper glutes, even the main region of the glutes, and sometimes the under glute as well. But mainly it's kind of that top of the glute region as well, so they're not always targeting the sides. And, you know, you could do as many abduction exercises on the machine or whatever as you want, and it's probably not gonna suddenly magically fill out those areas in your side. So just building lean muscle around your lower body, doing your usual exercises, whether you're training your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, whether you're doing lunges, squats, hip thrusts. Focus on good form and movement and those good exercises, those good heavy compound exercises. Build up your strength, and you might see less visible hip dips once you are in your journey. And this won't be overnight, this won't be in a month or 2 months. It might be, you know, a few months down the line or a year. The main point of this video, and the main thing I always say, is get it out of your head that hip dips are bad. Get it out of your head that you need to get rid of hip dips, and just focus on building lean muscle, putting on healthy weight if you do want to add a little bit of mass around there, and maybe minimize the way they look as well. So yeah, this is your sign to stop wasting your time on googling how to get rid of hip dips, even though I'm glad that you maybe googled it to find this video. But yeah, waste no time on trying to get rid of them. Practice all those good healthy methods and then you should be fine. But anyway, this was a short sweet video and something that I will continue to address because my DMs are always filled with these questions no matter how much content I put out. So yeah, thank you so much. Please do subscribe to my channel for more life advice, fitness, food, all of that good stuff. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media channels, and I'll see you on my next YouTube video.